Volatility continued to dominate global markets on Wednesday as Chinese shares were up amid erratic trade as traders gauged the effect of a fresh rate cut by the central bank. The index had fallen about 16% this week, sending shockwaves through global markets. The dramatic losses in volatility in China has shattered investor confidence worldwide.
I believe it's a stock market disaster. In terms of the market dropping 10 to 20% in 4 days, it's a stock market disaster for sure. It takes a short time for the market to drop from 5,000 to less than 3,000. It must be a stock market disaster.
What happens when there's a change in economic time? Everything gets very terribly turbulent. It's a little bit like things getting very windy before a tsunami, and then the things hit. And that's the interest rate hike in September in the States, and that's an interest rate cut in China, further interest rate cuts.
Meanwhile, a strong rally on Wall Street evaporated on Tuesday and stocks ended with deep losses as concerns about China's economy outweighed lower valuations that some saw earlier as bargains. In a dramatic trading session, major indices turned negative in the final minutes of trading after previously climbing almost 3%.
Instead of thinking about China growing at 8%, some think it's going to grow 5 or 6%. That's 20% less growth than anticipated. All of a sudden, investors are no longer interested in paying 20 PE if the true growth of those international markets, which represented half of the sales of the S&P, aren't going to be what was advertised. That's why this market corrected.
Yesterday's interest rate cut by the People's Bank of China was the fifth since November last year. The move is aimed at a long-term effect on the growth of the Chinese economy rather than having an immediate impact on investors.